Well, around Buffalo, she is the most powerful woman that you may not even recognize. Yet, her name is Beth Mooney. She is the CEO of KeyBank.
Mooney is a rarity in the banking industry, a female chief executive. In an interview with reporter Steve Brown, Mooney talks about being a trailblazer and how she sees KeyBank vying for the top bank in Western New York.
We caught up with the KeyBank CEO while she was touring the soon-to-be-open Oshai Children's Hospital. Key kicked in $300,000 to help with the move.
Upping our profile is what I'd like to call it, because some huge piece of what we're trying to do, Buffalo is now our second largest market in our entire franchise outside of Cleveland. It's incredibly important to us, so part of what we're trying to do is make sure the community understands that what they've got in Key is a great corporate citizen and a bank that wants to help not only our clients thrive, but we will be successful if we help the community thrive.
The biggest name in banking here is M&T. You have to chip into their business?
M&T is a great bank, and they have been in this community for 160 years. I think we're going to be good partners in this community, and we're going to be good competitors.
You want to eat into their margin a little bit, because they've been the #1 bank around here for a good long time.
I think we have some unique product offerings, some unique capabilities. I think we do a lot to offer ease to our customers, value to our customers, expertise, and in a competitive market, I like our chances on our ability to help serve the customers as well as the community of Western New York.
That sounds like you want to eat a little bit of their business.
I would like to be a good competitor at all times. And
Okay.
A good competitor does look to win from time to time.
Where do you want to be 10 years down the road?
I would tell you we see a bright future here, and I would like to say that we will obviously be a bank that grows in importance and grows in its stature in this community because of what we do to help our customers, what we do to help the community, and we will be one of the leading banks, if not the leading bank in Buffalo.
In 10 years?
In 10 years.
A little more than a year ago, KeyBank completed its merger with First Niagara, a deal that, when first announced, Governor Cuomo wanted blocked. Senator Chuck Schumer and Congressman Brian Higgins worried about possible job loss. So Mooney and then First Niagara CEO Gary Crosby set out to smooth jangled nerves, meeting with employees and with elected officials.
We merged with First Niagara for 1 million new customers and 5,000 new employees, and we brought them into KeyBank, and that is how we create the value, is through honoring and keeping the employees and serving the customers well. So as we talk to elected officials, I think we could easily start talking the same language about their concerns were our intentions. I would tell you that we couldn't be more proud and more excited about the opportunity to bring First Niagara and KeyBank together.
Mooney became KeyBank CEO in 2011. She is the first woman to rise to that position in a top 20 U.S. bank. 6 years later, she is still the only woman running a major American bank.
Where are the other women CEOs of top 20 banks? Certainly they're out there, aren't they?
I think they're in the making. As I look, and I often talk about when I started my career, there weren't many women in banking, period, much less in managerial senior leadership positions. So I call it, in one generation, I've seen an industry transform itself, that I could start at the bottom floor in banking and become a CEO of a top 20 U.S. bank.
Were you ever denied a promotion because you're a woman?
I don't believe I was ever denied a promotion because I was a woman.
Do you feel you ever got less than a fair shake on a job because you're a woman in the banking industry?
I think the way I would put it is more people were surprised sometimes that you were in consideration. Not that you were given less than a fair shake. It was kind of like, whoa, you know, should we consider her for that job?
Do you ever get angry when people were surprised that you're under consideration for jobs as you're moving up? Ever feel like saying, of course I should be under consideration?
Angry is not the word I'd use, because there's some magic into people underestimating you, because it's one of those things you can leverage it to your advantage. And so it was gratifying to make those moves. So I looked at it as more, you can underestimate me if you want, but I've got a goal and I've got an ambition in mind, and it was gratifying to make those moves.
Underestimate me to your own peril.
I would agree with
situation.
Yes, and some piece of what I'm trying to accomplish is to do this well so that the path forward is easier for the next Beth Mooney.
And I saved the toughest question for last. And both is not a fair answer. Browns or Bills?
The Browns are Cleveland's hometown team, and the Bills are 4-2, and they won on Sunday, and they came on late in the fourth quarter to win that game.
They did.
They had a great game. Go Bills.
She was a tremendously good sport with that question. That interview was shot last Tuesday before the last two Bills games. So at the time, she was spot on with the one-loss records. Now, Mooney lives in Cleveland, where KeyBank is headquartered. She is a huge sports fan. KeyBank has a luxury box at Quicken Loans Arena. And Mooney says when she goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers games, people know not to talk with her because she is watching the game, a serious sports fan. She shared that with me, totally offered that up. She knows.
Very impressively.
Yeah, she's very savvy too. I thought she was, I don't know, it's interesting to hear her insight as a woman executive. You can see why she's gotten so far.
And she's learning Western New York, obviously, because of the bank merger. And she spent time, she said she spent a weekend here in February, no business. She went to the Albright Knox. She went to the Buffalo Philharmonic. She went to the Darwin Martin House. And she says she even squeezed in a trip over to the Falls. So she is learning Western New York. But they look like they're going to be a bigger player here.
Serious competitors.
Absolutely.
And you got to know your customers, so very savvy.
Absolutely.
That's
Great
key.
interview. Yeah.
To know your customers.
Yeah, definitely.
Key.
Yeah, you know that too, don't you?
That's key. Right.
Thank you, Steve. Great job.